Hoi hoi folks, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Sean, aka Uncle Frogface, and welcome to today's video. So if you're new here, then welcome. If you're not new, then welcome back. Today, we are going to be doing another Scrawlrbox unscrolling for January's Scrawlrbox. So, before we get into that, I feel like I need to address the elephant in the room. And obviously, before I do that, I want to say that I'm not sponsored by Scrawlrbox or anyone else, so all of my opinions are my own. But this is my third Scrawlrbox. Okay, so the first box in November arrived on time and everything was fine. The December Scrawlrbox arrived early because of Christmas, but was missing the sweet treat from the box. So every one of these boxes comes with a sweet treat, and it was missing from that one. We then subsequently were told that in the January box there would be an extra special treat to make up for that. Fine. Then the January box. This has been a lot of issues. So obviously the Scrawlrbox comes out about the middle of the month. Today is February the 1st and my box has just arrived. In fact, my renewal confirmation email for February's box came before January's box did. And I'm fortunate, I live in the UK, so delivery for me is actually quite speedy by comparison to anyone living in the EU or America or anywhere else in the world that Scrawlrbox ships to. So we did know that it was going to be late. We were told by email and some social media platforms. It wasn't very much information, just that it was going to be late. It was also going to be missing the sticker. We were told that dispatch would be promised by Wednesday the 27th of January at the latest. I actually got my dispatch notification email on the Thursday the 28th at 2 a.m. So obviously that then led to the weekend, no deliveries on a Sunday. 1st of February, delivery comes. So the emails that we've been receiving and the social media posts, which as I said have been few and far between, have said that the reason for the delay have been due to Brexit and due to COVID. And I kind of wanted to address that as well because these are not unknowns. Okay, so by that I mean that COVID has been around for over a year now, and there's been disruptions around the world because of it. Brexit has been on the cards for a very long time, and even though there has been some things that have come up that have been unexpected with, export and import tax and things like that, the actual date for Brexit and the fact that there would be interruptions has been known. People knew that that was going to happen. So there's an old adage that says proper planning prevents poor performance. And I think this is a case of poor planning. The fact is, I don't think it's acceptable now to say sorry for the delay because of COVID, because you should be pre-planning for that and hoping to dispatch earlier to negate the effect of that. Secondly, I don't think if you're a company that gets items both from the UK and the EU and America to ship out, and you knew that Brexit was coming up, why would you choose to have an item from the EU on the first month of Brexit, knowing that in all likelihood that was going to cause some delays? So that poor planning has then meant that the consumer, us, are the ones that have to have the delays. And the fact is, we haven't had consistent updates about what's been going on. Scrawlrbox, as good as the products are, they are not unique. They're not a unique company. There are other companies out there that do the same or similar boxes. And this is only my third box, and it's the second box that has had issues. I mean, I'm going to continue with Scrawlrbox for the time being, just because I want to give them a fair shout. I think 3 months is a short period, especially over the Christmas period, so I'm going to stick with it a little bit longer, but I am also going to be investigating other subscription boxes. But the fact is, other than emails and social media blasts apologising, there hasn't really been any incentive for the consumer to stay. There hasn't been any kind of, we're sorry, we're going to give you 10% off the next box, or here's a refund, or we'll add something extra special into this box or the next. And actually, from the sound of this, it doesn't sound like there's a huge amount in there. So yeah, I mean, it remains to be seen, but it's just something that I wanted to kind of get off my chest and address with you. So, before I open this box, I feel like I need to go and make a cup of tea and just take a moment to relax. So, I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, right. I hope you've taken that time to subscribe down below, or like, or leave a comment. But let's change camera angle and we'll open this box up and see what we've actually got this month. Okay, so here we are. And the first thing to notice is actually the box is kind of damaged at these corners here. But, yeah, taking my shipping details off. Let's have a look inside. Okay, so it looks like something patterny. So I'm going to put this aside for a second. These are our art supplies. And this is the Scrawler zine that tells us what we have and some other information. So I'm going to put that to the side. Okay, this is the featured artist. So this is Chris Lambert. That's a very nice kind of paisley design. I actually really like that. It's very Zen-tangly. It's the kind of thing I do when I'm unwinding, just kind of doodling like this. But that's a little bit more refined. And we have some paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so a little booklet, 6 pieces of paper. Okay. Move the box out of the way. So in here we should have a menu with what all of our items are. Let's have a little look. Okay, so straight away, oh, Tombow markers, I know these well. Okay, first of all, sweets. Refresher, and a chocolate mint praline, so carrying on their mint theme, even though people have asked to do something other than mint. We have another mint sweet and we have a refresher sweet. So that is, I'm assuming, this month's and last month. So that's making up for last month's. It's not extra special, but it is there to make up for last month. So we have a Zig Millennium 3 pen. Let's have a look. It's a fine liner. I'm guessing that is 0.3. We'll have a look at the menu in just a second. 0.3. We also have 3 Tombow alcohol markers. So I'm used to the water-based markers. In fact, I'll grab one. This is one of the water-based markers that I use quite often, and I love these. So, alcohol-based markers, interesting. We have a brush tip, just like on the water-based, and we have a chisel tip. Okay. Do they have colour names on them? P528, no, actual colour name. P312, that's, yeah, the same, the brush and the chisel. And here, the brush and the chisel. So we have a green, a blue, and a grey, a nice colour combination. And we have this, oh, Scrawlrbox exclusive Black Wing pencil. Okay, let's have a little look what we've got here. So Tombow ABT Pro markers, professional quality markers, alcohol based, 2 different tips. Okay, ergonomically shaped, Black Wing Scrawlrbox special edition pencil. Cannot be found anywhere else except in this box. Okay, obviously Blackwing is quite a well-known pencil brand, so I'll be interested about this. Does this eraser come out? Don't think so. I thought these erasers were replaceable. I'll check later. Okay, and Kuretake Millennium 03 Black Fine Line. So I've got other Kuretake pens. I haven't had any of the Kuretake fine liners. So it'll be interesting to test those. The Zig ink is pretty good. Sometimes it's waterproof, sometimes it's not. Does it say here? Acid-free pigment ink, archival quality, water-based, light fast, waterproof. So be interested to see how long we need to let that dry before it becomes waterproof. And Clairefontaine A5 comic book paper. Interesting. I actually do comic book art, so I generally use Bristol boards or cardstock. This feels similar to the cardstock I use. And this month's Scrawler challenge, which is Paisley pattern. So yeah, using inspiration from this with these Paisley designs. Okay, let me get this cleaned up a little bit, and we'll do a little bit of swatching with what we have. And we're back. Okay, so first thing I've done is I've taken the Blackwing and I've given it a sharpen. Now, it does say that this eraser is removable, and it is with a bit of effort. Ugh. There we go. However, I have kind of scored it, and it's a bit... I'm not sure. We'll have to give it a try and see how it actually performs. Also, Blackwing do several different types of pencils, and I would be interested to know what one this kind of aligns with. But yeah, there's no information about that, but that would have been interesting to know. So we're going to have a quick look at the Scrawlrbox. So we've got all of our items. So no sticker this month. Apparently it's going to be in next month. So we have our print, have our pencil, archival quality pen, our markers, thick bleed proof paper. So it says on here that this is 12 sheets. It's not 12 sheets, it is 6 sheets. I think the reason they've said it's 12 sheets is because, according to this, it won't bleed through, the markers won't bleed through, so in effect each page is 2 pages. We'll test that out. We'll test out how true that actually is, because even with cardstock sometimes it can bleed through, and if it does, then effectively really we've only got 6 sheets and not 12. Then we have an interview with the featured artist, Chris Lambert. We have some tips to try with the Tombow markers. This is the Scrawler gallery from last month. And then we have a little bit of history about the Paisley pattern. Okay, so now we put that aside, let's have a look at this paper and these supplies and see what we can do with them. So, Blackwing pencil, I mean the design's quite nice. It's got the Scrawlrbox logo on there as well. Do something very, very light. Oh, if you light, that's really, really light, but actually it's showing up quite dark. So if I put a kind of normal pressure, okay, and if I really press hard, wow, it's quite a soft graphite. It does smudge. Look, there we go, bit of smudging. Let's test this eraser. So on the light first. Yeah, that erases. On the medium. And then on the dark. I mean, the darker you go, the harder time it has. It does feel a little bit plasticky, but it's not, it's fine. It's an eraser. Might have to go over it a few times. Okay, so how are we going to test this out? Let's start with our, right here, Blackwing. Okay, put that aside. Then we've got the Zig Millennium 0.3 fine liner. So I have quite a few fine liners, so let's see how this one compares. Yep, that is a line, definitely a line. It's So I like kind of doing circles with fine liners because sometimes, rotating your hands as well, sometimes they have like dead points, which could be frustrating when you're lining. You suddenly get to like a dry patch. Okay. Nice feathering, you get a nice streak on that. Okay, that seems pretty standard. That's the Zig Millennium. So Zig, and that's 0.303. Okay, let's try these markers. So I'm going to go with the blue first, and oh, that lays down very nicely. Good, even coverage from what I can see. Has it bled through? Not yet. Okay, good to see. And a chisel tip. Straight this way. There's a little tiny bit of bleed if I just touch down. Yeah, so just a very tight, light little touch. It does bleed out if you hold down. There we go. So it does bleed a little bit on this paper. Be interested to see what it's like on other paper. So that's the blue. Again, no name for the color. P528. Let's try this green color. Oh, that's pretty. That's more blue than green. Very nice. I do like that. Let's try the chisel on this one as well. So this one feels a little bit drier. The blue is very juicy. This one feels a little bit drier. Does it bleed as much? No. Okay, so this one doesn't bleed as much. I think it's the blue. It's just a very juicy colour and likes to bleed on the page. And then finally we have the grey. Again, nice, even coverage. Does this one bleed much? So it's maybe in the middle. It does, yeah, feel a little bit drier, and you can smell the alcohol a little bit. Let's touch here. Okay, so the green seems not to bleed very much at all. The grey is kind of in the middle. The blue does bleed a little bit, and you know, I'm saying it bleeds. It's not that noticeable, but actually, when you're colouring something in, it's something definitely to be aware of. Also, these pens have little notches on the caps, so no matter what one you've got off, if you do put your pen down, it's not going to roll anywhere. That's going to stop it from rolling off the desk. Also very nice. Okay, so I want to test how well does this layer over the markers. Okay, that's actually very nice. It's not pulling up the ink at all, it's not dragging. Okay, so let's try the other way around. So this one's been drying for a little bit. We get a little scribble down here, just get some ink on the page. And let's go with, so blue's the juiciest, most likely to smudge the ink, though it is the hardest to see. Kind of getting close. It doesn't seem to have bled. Let's try it with a lighter colour so that we are more easily able to see whether the black ink is smearing or not. So we'll do a bit with the brush tip and a bit with the chisel tip. It's difficult to see. There's a little tiny bit of bleed. That is going fresh one onto the other. This one has had a little bit of time to dry. So let's try with a drier ink and really scrubbing across. That doesn't appear to be bleeding. It's not washing out those lines there. So a bit of a closer look. It's hard to say. There might be a little bit of ghosting, a little bit of bleeding. So, okay, first things to take away. The fine liner draws very well on top of the alcohol marker. The fine liner might need a little bit more time to dry before using the alcohol markers on them. That's not uncommon. Let's see how the pencil interacts with the fine liners and with the alcohol markers. I'm just putting a little bit down there. It doesn't seem to smudge at all. Let's try the green. Definitely varies the tone of the marker and mutes it down, adding that graphite. Okay, and let's do a little bit of fine liner. Okay, now if I erase a bit here, it's fine, because then you erase maybe, it looks like it does pick up and erase some of the graphite. So if I go here, yeah, that pen stays. Okay, so this would be really good for doing an undersketch and then inking over the top, or colouring and then inking, whichever way you go about it. But that is our supplies for this month. I'm going to have a look at some patterns, kind of do some doodles in my downtime, come up with something to come back with you in a few days, and we will create something with these supplies. But tell me what you think down below. Do you think this has been worth it? Do you think the delay has been too much? Do you think this has made up for any kind of delay? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, definitely. As always, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and until next time, goodbye.